Okay, everybody, welcome to the CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. Today is June, I'm going to say June 25th, could be 26th, possibly, but you are listening to another jam-packed episode. It is Wednesday, whatever day that is, and we have an awesome show. Today is the Bitcoin's Beginner Show. We're doing it that way because we didn't do that yet, and not everybody knows all the stuff there is to know about cryptocurrencies and the blockchain and all the buzzwords that go around all that. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, but we're going to start with the basics, and we got some questions from some people in our audience. So we're going to get started. Hopefully everybody's seeing what we're seeing. I'm going to pull up my live feed so I can see what we're seeing too and get involved with the chat. Okay, Bitcoin101, noob questions, LOLZ, and anything goes. Tweet us at CoinProz Team or Crypto Noob to have your question or topic addressed on the show. Getting right into it, everybody. Okay, I'm excited. Haven't done the show since Friday, so we got some questions initially from our show hosts because they are an active group and they're participating in the thread, and it looks like we have the live feed going somewhat appropriately. So the first question we have from the group was, what are some major retailers that accept Bitcoin? Oh, pardon me. What are some major retailers that accept Bitcoin? Okay, well, that's a great question. Let's see what we have. Overstock.com, they were one of the first ones to jump in and get involved. That happened, I think, back in January of this year, 2014. And Expedia.com recently announced their support for Bitcoin and their acceptance. I believe their Bitcoin acceptance is strictly, oh, you're not even getting the graphics. I'm walking away. Everything's going great. You're not even getting the graphics. Let's see. Let's try again, guys. You're a patient bunch. We're going to get all the kinks worked out of this show one day. Let's try. Oh, my God. You're looking at my bum. You're looking at my face. Try the screen share. Oh, neat. Look at that. Are we getting that? Getting that in the chat, in the group, in the world? Yeah, that looks pretty good. But this is what we want. Sorry, man, there's a lag. What are some major retailers that accept Bitcoin? Overstock.com, Expedia for the hotels, and CheapAir.com for the airfare. Gift.com is an awesome move. They offer the ability to buy Bitcoins with gift card, or buy gift cards with Bitcoin, which can be accepted at many different retailers. Some of the retailers out there, GameStop, Whole Foods, Home Depot, CVS Pharmacy, Victoria's Secret, and much more. We're having a lot of difficulties with the screen share ability of the show. Apparently it doesn't work when I go into that full screen mode. Cool, that's all right. We have Adam Brandt from one of the other programs. I forget the name of his show off the top of my head. I'm sorry. He offered to come in and talk as a crypto noob. So I'm going to drop him a show link just so we can have some friendly banter if he's watching. Thank you, Adam, for that opportunity. Yeah, it's a good day here in the Voluntary Virtues world. Doing 2 shows on the network is definitely a joy. I would not trade it for anything else but possibly 3 shows. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I'm glad I don't have a full-time job anymore. Then it would be super a lot of pressure. But we're going to get Adam in here, and I'm going to try again to see what happens if I do this a different way without the full screen effect. You guys can just play along. You get what's going on here. You guys are a cool crowd for your patience. Adam, you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I'm trying to be like really fancy with my show maneuvering, and I'm having mixed results. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I was actually super pumped when I saw that you were doing a crypto noob show. I was like, yes, it's perfect for me because I'm asking all these stupid ass noob questions. I feel like a total asshat asking some of these questions. And you've been kind enough to talk me through some of them, specifically with Ladium. But if you don't mind, I'd like to comment real quick on Expedia. Um,
Shoot, jump in.
Being that I work in the hotel industry, so I see a lot of stuff that comes in through Expedia.com. The fact that I can now potentially have guests who, now granted, I may never know unless I specifically ask every single person that comes in if they've used Bitcoin to check, to purchase their room. Just the fact that somebody in my industry or people who are coming into my industry can use Expedia to purchase a hotel room, to purchase a good that I'm involved in, blows my goddamn mind, and I love it. So if any of you are coming to the Cape Girardeau area, book with Bitcoin for the love of God, and I want to tell your story, and I want to get an interview with whoever comes through who happens to use Bitcoin. So Randall, hop on that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm just I'm playing with all my gadgets over here, making sure my levels are good and everything. My camera's all whacked today, but thanks for coming on. Yeah, no, in your position, I would feel the same way actually. If an industry I was like, for example, I worked in the car business for a while, and if all of a sudden, Nissan or Ford or wherever I was working just decided to start taking Bitcoin for cars or something, that'd be pretty freaking righteous, and I'd be excited about that. So being able to have someone check in and say, yeah, I'm here for my stay, and I'd like to pay with Bitcoin. What is that, 1.26 Bitcoin for the week? Great, sounds good. I'll just scan this QR code, and I'll be up to my room now. That'd be amazing to witness.
Badass. I would love it. There we go. There's that. Okay, I'm all set. Perfect. One of the questions that have popped up was, all the major retailers. I guess one of my next questions is, and maybe this is more so for the complete noobs out there. I think I have a basic understanding. What is the difference between a cryptocurrency and like a gift card or a standard currency out there? What's the big difference? What's the big deal of crypto coins or cryptocurrencies as compared to real money?
Right.
In your quotes,
right.
Of course.
Absolutely. No. Well, the primary difference. Are you getting my levels there, buddy? First of all.
Yeah, I'm hearing you just fine. Everything's good on, at least through my headset.
Beautiful, beautiful. I just don't know, but everything's going crazy. My stuff's crazy right now. All right, cool. No. No. The primary difference is that I can't hear myself in the headphones. It's very distracting. All right, now I'm good. You there, Adam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The primary difference is that with a gift card or with store credit or something like that, it's you need a central mandate, you need a central authority to back that up, to legitimize that value. Whereas with Bitcoin or with any cryptocurrency, it's a decentralized protocol backed by the blockchain, and the blockchain is basically, if you think about it, it's a series of agreements between parties. So 10 of us get in a room and we agree how we're going to conduct ourselves financially, and it's a system of rules. So for me to initiate a transaction with anybody, for me to push a transaction onto that network, for me to convey that I've sent value from me to Adam, or from Adam to Jonas or Tim or whoever, that all has to pass through the protocol and through the rules, through the mandate. So, for example, a gift card could be forged. You could have a gift card with a code, and I could just simply copy the code or snap it with my card, or there's a lot of ways to fraud centralized systems. You can hack into a database. Bitcoin doesn't have that level of exposure. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess one definition that some people, and especially myself, I mean, I hear blockchain and I kind of understand what it's insinuating. But what is the blockchain itself? What's a more technical definition that people can probably latch on to figure it out?
Yeah, great. I appreciate that question as well. The blockchain, it's super hard to actually break down. I think I've heard people explain it a bunch of different ways, but once you get it, it's not actually that much of a mystery. Essentially, the blockchain is a transaction register or history of transactions. So Bitcoin started in 2009. So let's just say today was the first day Bitcoin started, and we're going to all start doing the Bitcoin thing. Stage one is we say we have to turn on the mining computers and start mining Bitcoin. And mining Bitcoin is a process of solving an algorithm for cryptography. And that's not to answer your question, that's a side note. I'm not going to stay on that. I'm actually playing on my computer again. The point I'm trying to get to for your question is that basically when I send you money on Bitcoin on the network, it has to get registered, it has to get validated, it has to get basically written down into the blockchain or into the transaction ledger that now this one Bitcoin that I sent, it used to be in my wallet, now it's over at Adam's wallet. So everybody on the Bitcoin network needs to know that happened. With Visa or with a gift card somewhere, you just swipe the card and then it tells MasterCard or it tells Walmart, all right, Adam's short $10 now because he bought something, he bought a widget. With Bitcoin, it has to broadcast that information across the entire Bitcoin network. It could be a million wallets. Anybody who has a blockchain downloaded, which is the file that stores all of the transactions, that's the direct, real, true answer to your question. That blockchain, that file ledger is proof that you have the coin you say you have, I have the coin I say I have, because every single coin can be traced back to its origin from when it was first minted or mined.
So, and at the same time, and this is just going off of my complete noob knowledge of Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies, even though there is that public ledger, which I wouldn't even begin to know where to find any of that stuff, and frankly, it doesn't matter to me. I don't give two shits. But at the same time, the big thing I hear from the Bitcoin community is, oh, we're anonymous. It's completely anonymous. It can be as anonymous as you want, but yet you can still see, who's at least what address has traded with what address. Is that possible to track? Where, like, obviously you're able to see who trades with who, at least in the address, with the address that you use or whatever. But is it not possible to track what location in the world or something like that Bitcoins are kind of flying to and from and all that, which would make it hackable from the kind of a police type scenario?
Right, so we have to distinguish, there's two different types of hacking that we should talk about. There's a type of hacking where you have funds or you have value in your account and I go in and I steal that from you. That's possible on Bitcoin and that's possible with fiat as well. There's the other type of hacking that you're talking about where it's hacking where it actually can destroy the network, when it actually can damage the network itself. That's possible with fiat, but that's not possible with Bitcoin to anyone's experiential knowledge. I mean, could it be theoretically possible? Sure. I'm sure everything is theoretically possible, but has it been done? No, not to any degree. In fact, people talk about the 51% attack as a threat to Bitcoin, and if you've heard of that buzzing around, that means one group of mining computers has combined more than 51% of the hashing power of the Bitcoin network controlled. So they could push fake transactions, they could double spend currency, but if they did that, they would destroy the value of Bitcoin. So the quick spend that they got would be worthless because their entire mining operation that's worth probably millions of dollars a month would fall to ruin. So the Bitcoin network is super strong because it's decentralized, and the network, there's no one sole party that benefits. Whereas with MasterCard, every time a card gets swiped, there's one guy at the top or one group of shareholders who are reaping the rewards of that 3.75% fee. Okay. Did I answer your question at all?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, I'll have to listen back to the show a little bit later just to make sure I'm getting all the points. Because I'm thinking up questions as I'm going along. I'm Googling a few things just to kind of get my mind going. Try to be the representative of the noobs out there.
I really appreciate it because you know what happens when you I have a presentation that I might jump back into. I might save for another show. I might do whatever with. But when you actually have the back and forth of someone kind of asking these noob questions, that's what it's like. Every time I run into someone anywhere and they go, well, how come this and how come that? I might as well just show people what it's like to have that conversation in real life. You know what I mean? So what else do you want to know? What else don't you get about Bitcoin? What do we need to go over?
One thing I do want to mention, I was just Googling more Bitcoin stuff. Humble Bundle for all you gamers out there accepts Bitcoin. So if you're a Steam gamer, you like to do stuff on Humble Bundle, go there and spend your Bitcoin. They will love you forever.
Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle is a way to get like a lot of software or a lot of games for cheaper by buying them kind of all at once. And all the developers get together and say, we don't mind taking a price cut and a portion of it goes to charity. It's a pretty good thing, actually. And now they're accepting Bitcoin. It makes sense. Bitcoin is going to be the currency of all the early adopters, all the new startup apps. If you go around Silicon Valley right now and you talk to angel investors and startup investors, if your company, if your product doesn't have a Bitcoin aspect to it, if it doesn't have a cryptocurrency play to it, um, it's not getting as much attention anymore. I mean, that's the cutting edge of. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm taking the show. What's your next question, brother?
It's your freaking show. Of course you
No, but the
should.
show is for the audience, and the show topic is Bitcoin noobs. I'm gonna open up Twitter and see if we have any tweets, and you hit me with your next question, right?
Yeah. Banking in Bitcoin. How would that work, or is that even a thing? I know there's been Bitcoin exchanges. I hate to mention the ever infamous Mt. Gox, or groups like them. How would banking work in Bitcoin, or is it even necessary?
Well, you kind of nailed it with your second. You almost left me with the meat on the bone, but you chomped it off at the end there. It isn't. That's the beautiful thing. So right. So when you say banking, what does that mean? I'll let you answer that, but I want to give you a little bit more to go on. Like,
Yeah,
when
banking
you
as
give
far
your
as
money to the bank, when you give the money to the bank, why are you doing that, and for what purpose, and why don't you just keep your money? Why are we doing
right.
that?
As far as the best definition that I can throw around for banking is you're basically putting your money somewhere where it's not on your person, it's safe allegedly, or you're putting your faith in an organization or a company to hold on to your money for you. Because you may have some kind of risk of the vandals or the thieves down the street wanting to take all your cash. And if you've got $6.5 million laying around your house, that kind of puts a target on your back. So putting it in an institution that has reasonable security and has at least a potential for protecting your assets, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But again, you also got to be really careful with the institutions you choose, and I think I just stole the rest of your point.
No, you did it, man. You set me up beautifully for the rest of my point. Actually, I didn't even get my point out, nor did you. And I'll help you convey that to everybody. So check it out. Um, you put your money in a bank because you feel like you said, there's thieves, there's robbers, there's crooks out there, there's bad people out there that want to kind of wrest your fortunes away from you, and so you put it in the bank. Here's the problem. Every time I go to the bank to cash a check, because I haven't been in the traditional banking system for almost a year now. I've danced around it. I have checking accounts that I open and online accounts that I open here and there, but I try not to. I really try not to because I don't want to play into their BS bullshit propaganda game. Here's the thing. You're protecting my money. Let's just say I gave a bank $1,000 today, and I kept the account open. I didn't spend any money, and I came back in 3 years. How much money do you think would be there? Probably like $750 because they're going to whack you for $3 or $4 a month for this, for that, for inactivity, for low balance, for usage, you name it. They charge you to provide a service to make sure no one steals your money. Yeah, if you have $1,000,000, sure. If you have $1,000 or 200 or 300, why are you putting it in the bank? They charge you so much just to take the money out. You give it to them and then they charge you to take it back. It's insanity. And then you go to the bank and they charge you to cash a check. Let me ask you another way. I have Bitcoin. I tell you, hey, Adam, do me a favor. Watch my dog for the week. I'm going out of town. I'll pay you $200. Do you mind if I pay you in Bitcoin since I'll be out of town? I could just send it to you right away. I'm already at the airport right now. Sound good? You say, sure. No problem. And I check on my little phone here. I see that Adam's in the house taking care of the dog. He's not wearing a lot of clothes, but no one else is there, so no problem.
I give you a little cam show while I'm at it. So
I got
over
plastic
50.
on the furniture. It's all good.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
yeah, so I could send you my Bitcoin. Look at all the other ways to do it. Western Union, PayPal, sending cash in the mail, doing a bank transfer. It's all asinine bullshit. You do it for the sake of convenience, which is supposed to be convenient. Oh yeah, this is the way it's convenient relative to getting in a buggy or in a horse-drawn carriage and dying on the way to take the money to you by voyage. It's more convenient than that. But with Bitcoin, I go click, 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 click. I send you $200. Within 10 minutes, 1 million people have confirmed that transaction, and it's your money now. And there's no refunds, and there's no reversals. Which one do you want to do? You tell me.
Right, exactly. And one question, kind of something that I've always floated around in my head. Why is there a maximum number of Bitcoins, and how do we keep why should there be no central authority for Bitcoin? I know the answer to the last one for myself, but I figured, help the audience.
Nice softball questions, Adam. I'm gonna have you on the show more often. You're a good guy.
I try.
um, tell me the first part again. I love the second part. You have my interest.
And the first question is, why is there a need to have Bitcoin only be allowed to have a certain amount?
Oh, okay, right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the limited supply and then the central authority. Okay, so limited supply is a pretty obvious one, but I'll just for the sake of the audience kind of help everybody out. When you talk about economic theory or macroeconomics, you talk about the first thing you'll learn is supply and demand. And I have widgets. Widgets are super hot right now. The more widgets I make, the lower the price is going to go because that means I can sell more widgets and more people can afford them, and I'm making a killing. So I'll make a lesser profit to just pump out more widgets. Conversely, if I can only make so many widgets and everybody wants my widgets, the price is going to skyrocket. I'm going to charge more per widget because I know people will pay because there's only so many to go around. Same thing for Bitcoin. If there was an unlimited supply of Bitcoin, if I could just write a computer script and hack and make my own 2,000 Bitcoin and then start sending them around the network, Bitcoin would have been dead years ago if that was a possibility. No one has spoofed a Bitcoin. The only way Bitcoin has ever been created, every single Bitcoin on the network, there are no false Bitcoins. They've all been created through a mining process, and it's cost somebody money to invest and do that, just like gold.
Right, and kind of to piggyback off that question and that answer, with obviously the whole insinuation of scarcity, we live in a world of scarcity. That's why the price system actually works. Obviously, if there's 10,000 gallons of water and everybody needs a gallon, you can do a reasonable price for that. But if you've got 100,000 or you got 100,000 or a million gallons, and everybody and and you sell it at the same price, there's a whole law of marginal utility. But the interesting thing is Bitcoins aren't really scarce, at least in a legitimate physical sense. So it's kind of almost in a post-scarcity, non-scarcity kind of situation. So why couldn't we just mine, just arbitrary number, 200 billion Bitcoins? Why is it at whatever the number is set at? Isn't it like 36 something or other?
So okay, so let me jump in there. We're teetering on the edge of 201 versus 101 right now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give a good answer so that the audience can stay in tune and know where you were going and how to tune that. Yeah, there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. 21 million coins will be mined.
Okay.
Right now, there's about 12 and some change million out there, and every 10 minutes, about 25 Bitcoin are released onto the network. There is a part of the Bitcoin algorithm or protocol that regulates this, what they call block timing or block speed or block discovery. So let's just say in the next 10 minutes, there are 100,000 transactions that are sent on the Bitcoin network. Those all get jammed in a box called a block. And that block gets packaged up by a bunch of mining computers, and whoever seals the top of it off and says, I'm done, bingo, that guy gets 25 Bitcoin, passes it down, and then everyone goes, okay, that's a fair block, that counts, we all got to start a new board, and they all start bundling transactions together. Everything that didn't make it into that block gets started in the next block, and that's all Bitcoin's ever been. It's just an assembly line of transaction information, block headers, meta tags, and cryptographic verification that it's all valid and it all reflect. This coin moved from here to here. This all proves. This started here. It's all it is. Just a machine that sorts where things went when. If we had an unlimited amount of coins, what would be the value of the Bitcoin? And the more you pump onto the network, the more the price would just fall down because, geez, these things are just cropping up everywhere, aren't they? So I mean that's the first part of your deal, right?
Yeah, and then go ahead and hit that home run on the central authority thing.
Just bunt it in.
Yeah, knock it out.
So, yeah, the problem with the central authority is if you look at every single time in the course of history when you gave a central authority the right to regulate value or regulate currency, they've abused that power. Whether it be the Federal Reserve Bank, whether it be the United States Treasury, whether it be any foreign bank, any international bank, any institution, period. I've never even been honest with my banks about my own banking. I go in there and make up BS all the time. Why isn't this money in my account? It doesn't matter, dude. No one's honest about anything unless they're forced to be honest, and that's why Bitcoin is the true anarchic or voluntarist money, because the blockchain is it's like Big Brother, but it's like Big Brother, but it's unbiased. It's like the truth tree. You just go up to it and say, "Is this true?" and it goes yes or no. That's all it is. It's it keeps the truth out there.
Well, and I would almost kind of put it a different way and say that it is the mediator for contracts in a roundabout way. My contract with you is I'm sending you X amount of Bitcoins. It says, yes, you sent Randall this amount of Bitcoins.
Right.
Good job. Good for you, man. And it makes it seem a little bit less sinister when you say Big Brother. It's not quite that creepy, and it's all voluntary transactions, anyways.
Sure. Now let me reiterate that a little bit. That warrants more clarification. It's not a Big Brother in the scary Orwellian sense. It's everywhere though that a Bitcoin transaction takes place. Whereas, to draw the parallel, let me kind of nail that in. With regards to fiat or with the U.S. dollar, I go down the street and buy a stereo from Horatio, and he goes, "Thanks, man. That's $50." Hey, yo, I live in a neighborhood that has a lot of dudes who are Spanish, so that's my neighbor's name. Sell stereos, whatever. So I buy a stereo from Horatio or Michael, and and I give him cash. Nobody knows that happened. He knows, I know, maybe his girlfriend knows, maybe my girlfriend knows, whatever, but the government doesn't know. The issuer of the currency has no idea that transaction took place. Bitcoin doesn't have, well, in a very superficial sense, Bitcoin doesn't have any dark transactions. There are off-blockchain transactions. That's a higher level topic, but they all get eventually reported back to the blockchain anyway. So yeah, the centralized authority is bad because they could spoof it. Like there was $17 trillion missing from the Pentagon budget the day before 9/11 took place, and then the part that was storing all that information had a plane hit it. Well, it was supposedly a plane, but there's no footage of a plane, so it was maybe a plane. That's what they're saying. Why would we doubt that? That's a whole other story, right?
Right. We can do a whole show on the currency and the economics behind 9/11 on my show later.
Well, it must have been expensive to do all that stuff, right? They can't trace where that happened. If there was a blockchain, you'd certainly know where all that funding went from, right?
Right, exactly.
The blockchain of Bitcoin funded terrorism, we'd know exactly who the terrorists were. We could go trace them, right?
Right, and then use the DROs to take them down. But I guess
the blockchain will probably liberate us in our lifetime. That's my guess.
Oh, I'd hope so. Assuming I live long enough, me being a fat guy.
Bro, you are not fat. I mean, you could tilt the camera down. You don't look that big. What do you got?
I'm 260.
You got a beer belly. That's a beer belly. That's not fat.
Well, we'll get onto that topic another day. So I guess the last kind of noobish question that I want to ask, and then I'll let you get into whatever presentation questions. I don't want to steal time away from the other people who ask questions, if there were really anybody.
I got a little bit, yeah.
So my last question, and then I'll pop off and let you run the show the rest of the way. Shit, what the hell was it? I got distracted by my fat. It was... Okay, go to another question. Let me think about it.
Okay, cool. So let's go to another question from the audience.
What was it?
Don't sweat, man. We got some time left on the Grammy. All right, so... Hold on, Adam. Do you have your question, sir? Hold it though. Just hold
I've almost
it.
got it. Yeah.
Keep developing it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, yeah. Our question was, what are major retailers that accept Bitcoin? We said Overstock, Expedia, Cheap Air, Gift. You can buy gift cards, which you buy them with Bitcoin and then redeem them at other retailers. And then there's a website called all4btc.com, which gives you the ability to buy things off of Amazon and eBay as well for Bitcoin, as well as I think something thousands of other sites as well. And it's kind of like an escrow system. So you go to the site, you say what you want, you post it up on their forum. Someone who wants to buy Bitcoin for fiat will say, okay, great. They'll purchase that item. They'll send it to your address. When they have the order receipt, order confirmation, they send that information to the site. The site releases the escrow, and the other party receives the Bitcoin. The other party receives the item that they want to buy off of the site. So it works for everybody. And I'm going to get right back to Adam in a second. Whatever. It's still a work in progress, my dude. Do you remember your question?
Yeah. This kind of seems like more of a wrap-up question, but what are the best ways to get involved in Bitcoin, and are there particular exchanges or wallet apps or Bitcoin-related anythings out there that you would highly recommend for somebody just jumping in, just kind of getting their feet wet, and who want to really practice and learn and get a grasp on it?
perfect wrap-up question too, because that's actually what question I had for my second question. Basically, I have it all right here, so I would share it with you guys in the way I want to, but being a little kookular. Um, all right, so I'll just read it out loud. So basically, localbitcoins.com is my favorite. That's what I use a lot. Basically, there's thousands of vendors on there that you can buy Bitcoins with, anything from Western Union to PayPal to cash deposits at a local bank to cash in person. You could actually meet people in person and coordinate over local Bitcoins. And excuse me, what the site provides is they provide an escrow service. So if you're purchasing or selling Bitcoins, the Bitcoins that are being moved get held on local Bitcoins while the transaction is taking place. So wherever the fiat has to go, once the fiat's in its final destination where it's moved to, the person supposed to send the Bitcoin has already sent it to local Bitcoin. So you just provide proof. For me, I'll go to a bank. I'll use Chase or Bank of America. I'll say I'm going to go put $200 in. You go on local Bitcoin. You say I want to buy $200 of the Bitcoin. You find a seller that has it. Great. That guy sounds good. He's got a lot of great feedback. He says go to Chase, put it in this account. My name's Tony. So you go to Chase. You say I deposit $300 in Tony's account. Here's the account number. He's in Texas. Great. You put it in. You go home. You show the copy of the receipt they gave you. You take a picture. You write something on it. You upload it, and you say submit within. And because they're all graded on how fast they do this, so I'm to the point now where if I said I want to go buy Bitcoin, I'll have it in 35 minutes using local Bitcoin. As long as it takes me to drive to the bank and back, writing on the receipt, taking a picture with my phone, uploading it, whatever. That's my favorite way. Yes, I pay a little surcharge for convenience. Great. I don't care. You can use meetup.com and find a Bitcoin exchange if you're in a popular city. Find people in real life that will sell Bitcoin to you. Some early Bitcoin investors. I've been at meetups where people have thousands of Bitcoin. If you want to buy Bitcoin, they'll take cash right out of your hand and give you Bitcoin. But there's a lot of other ways I want to touch on really quick. I know we're running out of time. There's a website there's a page on Reddit, subreddit called Jobs for Bitcoin. That's actually where I found the CoinProz team and actually joined their team through there. That's where they were looking for marketing help. And you can also find, you can also offer, you can use that Jobs for Bitcoin and other sites to offer your services for sale for Bitcoin. So if you're like yourself, you're a podcaster, you're a media personality, you help people with their show prep, their intros, their this, their that. If someone says, hey man, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? I'll pay you $100. Instead of you accepting it with PayPal, just accept it with Bitcoin and have them send you 0.25 Bitcoin or something or whatever that equates to. And I think in the long run, you'll do much better for yourself, saving on transaction fees and riding the appreciation wave up of Bitcoin as scarcity drives price up, as adoption rises. We got 5 more minutes left. I don't want to kick you off, Adam.
Do it.
What do you think? No, I want to ask you what. There's a million more sites. There's some UK sites. Coinbase.com gets you immediate Bitcoin. Bittylicious, if you're in the UK. Coinbase is for US people only. Kraken is a US exchange. They accept wire transfers. So if you're sending like over $1,000 or something that's worth doing a wire transfer, Kraken.com is good. OKCoin.com is a new play. I met the gentleman that started that company at a local Miami meetup, and it's supposed to be a lot like Coinbase, but a little bit faster. OKCoin.com. I want to bust out my donation address sheet real quick just to get it actually on the screen because I always forget to actually ask for tips or anything like that in the show.
Well, make sure you put it in the description too. I know a lot of hosts have been neglecting.
No. Wait. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
When I talk, can you see it? Okay, that's it.
We got you.
Okay, I just always forget, and I feel stupid for.
Uh-oh, I lost your voice. Or did I lag out? Uh-oh. Well, I don't know if it's me or him that got lost somewhere in the whole thing. But yeah, for those of you who can see the Bitcoin, Darkcoin, Potcoin addresses and QR codes, please, for the love of God, donate to this young man. This gentleman has helped me so much in just getting involved with Ladium.cc, Ladium coin. It's just fantastic all the help he's given me. So please, for the love of God, give this man some donations. Show him some love. Help him out.